Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now, I've mentioned a few times on the channel before that I'm currently doing my Institute of Advanced Motorists Masters qualification. The big question is, what exactly is the Masters qualification and how does it differ from the standard IAM Advanced Driving Test? So I've always been fascinated by the mechanics of driving, almost to an obsessive level. I had a driving lesson on my 17th birthday, passed my test just a few months later, and ever since then I've just wanted to become a better driver. So it was always going to be a logical progression that at some stage I would do my advanced driving test. And there are a number of organisations that you can do that with, but I decided to do it with the Institute of Advanced Motorists. And I passed my advanced driving test in 2008. And I found it a fascinating process, very challenging, very demanding. You basically have to know everything about the highway code, and then you follow this. This is the Bible, if you like, of advanced driving that the Institute of Advanced Motorists follow. But roadcraft is also the basic rules and driving and principles that the police use in all of their driver training, from someone driving a Panda car all the way up to high-speed pursuit, armed pursuit drivers. They all follow roadcraft. So I passed my advanced driving test and then kind of didn't get actively involved with the Institute of Advanced Motorists, although I did put out a video on the channel a few years ago. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a card above right now. And that got picked up by the Institute of Advanced Motorists, and last year I got asked if I wanted to get more involved in the work that they do, and as part of that they challenged me to sit my Masters qualification. So that is basically everything you learn on your advanced driving test, and then you turn it up to 11. It is a properly challenging thing. There are only some 1,000 people in the UK that currently have their Masters qualification. So I've actually been involved in it since the back end of last year. I've had 2 sessions already, and this video I thought I would just take you behind the scenes in the car as to some of the things we're going to be doing. I'm not going to film and follow the whole process because, to be quite frank, the last thing I need to be thinking about when I'm doing my Masters driving practice and lessons is having a camera pointed in my face. But last week, Mark, my mentor, came over here and we did a couple of things together. So the first thing I want to do is jump in the car with Mark, introduce him and just talk through the process and exactly what we're doing. So welcome back to the channel, Mark.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yep, not too bad.
So last time we saw you, we were hammering round Thruxton in my Mini.
That was a good fun day.
It was a good fun day. It was a good fun day. So, little bit of update since the Thruxton day, because we announced I was doing my Masters. We've actually done 2 sessions already together, but haven't filmed either of them. The first was the back end of last year, and then we did one only about 4 weeks ago.
Yep, just before Christmas.
But there was quite the idea with these Masters sessions, you've got about half a dozen sessions until you're in the kind of even ready to be put in for the test. But ideally you don't want too much time between each session, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, and there was quite a lot of time between the first 2 sessions, so we kind of discounted the first one. And then the big decision we made in the last session was I did my first 2 sessions in the Roadster with a manual box, and I did my IAM test with a manual.
Yep.
However, I've modified the car so much, especially with the new brakes, which are quite squeaky on the road, and it's, well, very squeaky.
That's an understatement.
We decided that actually, for the sake of filming, it'll probably be easier to do it in the Clubman. Now, the big difference is the Clubman is an automatic, and although you still follow the system of car control in an automatic, it is different. There's different techniques and so on. So what we thought we would do is, first of all, Mark's going to demonstrate in his car, which is a rather nice 718 Cayman S, but with a PDK box, the differences for me for the system of car control in an auto, because I haven't actually ever seen a demonstration in an auto.
Okay.
And also, one of the big things about the Masters is that during the test, and actually in all the sessions up to the test, you need to commentate your drive for the whole thing. Now the test is about an hour and a half long, and that is a big ask. So I've been practicing a lot since my last session, but Mark's going to give a demo commentary as well, because you've just passed your
I'm well practiced.
Your re-examine or your re-exam to be a Masters type person, dude.
Tuesday this week was my 3-year reassessment with our area service delivery manager. I won't tell you his name.
The guy who's going to be testing me.
The guy that's going to be testing you, and I passed quite well.
Yeah, with a distinction, as I would expect.
With a distinction.
Now, Mark has said he won't put me into the test until he knows I'm going to get a distinction, which is mildly terrifying. So, the next thing we're going to start to do is Mark's going to talk through, for me, and I won't put all of it in, but I think some of it will be really, really interesting.
Okay, so so far you've had, we'll call it one session. We've been out before that, and you will get a minimum of 6 sessions with me.
Yep.
I don't stick hard and fast to the rules. It'll take as long as it takes. And by the time you go in for test, you will be ready for an hour and a half grilling by an ex-police class of 1 detective inspector of Dorset traffic.
Yeah, and that is mildly intimidating, if I'm honest.
You'll be fine. You'll be ready for it by then. The guy that's going to take you out will expect you to be slightly nervous on the day to start with, but you'll be driving to master standard all the time by then. So you won't need to turn it on the day. It'll be the way you drive.
Yeah. The other thing which just is quite amusing is Mark watches my videos and points out when I'm not necessarily driving to the system in my videos, which happens quite a lot.
Yes. Arms on the offside window ledge.
Yes.
Don't really comply.
No.
Undertaking at 50 miles an hour on the A35 is a classic.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah.
And changing gear mid-corner in a GT4.
Yeah.
Where's the hedge?
I know. Now, the thing I'm noticing straight away, which is, so one of the things I've found in the 2 sessions we've had, is I've been very cautious. I've not felt like I could push on, and I don't know whether that's because I'm nervous about what Mark's looking at in my driving, or whether I just want to please in terms of the way I'm driving, but I've been quite cautious. And although in the IAM there's still speed limits, we don't break the speed limits because obviously that's illegal. You want to, the phrase you use is make progress, right? And
progress.
I'm noticing that already in the speed at which, certainly that last corner, the speed at which you're back on the gas and kind of accelerating out the hazard.
Well, we talked just before we started about vehicle stability and when to be on the gas and when not to be on the gas. So you really want to lose all the speed coming up to the corner, and vehicles are most stable when it's at a constant speed, so hold constant speed through the corner. When it's safe to do so, accelerate away using the limit point once that starts running away from you to accelerate. We'll talk more about manual override in the auto shortly when we get onto a stretch of downhill road, which your viewers will recognise instantly.
Yeah. I'm quite lucky. On the doorstep of my house is this road. Now, the other thing to state, normally when you do your sessions leading up to your Masters, it's on roads that you don't know. So you meet up with your mentor and you'll go out on roads that we don't know. For today, specifically for today, because we were going out in your car and my car, we've actually met at my house and we're going out on roads because we wanted to do this bit just on a road that was quite close to the house, just for a time more than anything. But normally, and actually today's session, which we'll be looking at in a little while, is on roads. I'll know some of them, but some of them I won't do.
So you'll notice back there we did straighten the bend.
Now, here's the thing. I've had that commented on a video. You cut the corner.
Dear. There was nothing behind me.
Yep.
Nothing in front of me. No solid white line. Perfectly safe to do so.
And he kept a smoother line through the corner. More stable car.
Absolutely stable car. You had a comfortable ride. I'm quite happy with that. You will be expected to do that on your Masters test if the opportunity arises.
Yeah.
So you know this road and I don't. We're, I guess, approaching the
You are going to bear round to the left, and then there's a sharp right-hand bend,
there's
and a
the
10% downhill.
Downhill slope, 10% on the brakes. off the brakes, can't see the downhill slope yet. Now I can manual override, that's steep. On the brakes on the straight, that looks sharp, down 2. Second gear, down the hill, hold second, sharp deviation in the distance. Shoulder check, nothing behind us, slightly straightening, on the brakes, off the brakes before the corner, now back on the gas, holding the speed. Another sharp deviation, mirrors, you can see a sharp deviation off to the right now. Near side for view, holding the speed, looking for the limit point, there it goes, mirrors, back on the brakes before the corner, off the brakes, turning in, out to the white line for view, holding second gear all the way through, coming up to a give way sign, mirrors, on the brakes, off the brakes, mirrors now, on the brakes fully, we're going to turn right at the junction. Nobody else around at the moment. I'm still in manual because the gearbox will go back to first, so I've got to remember that as I pull away. Taking second on the paddles, taking third on the paddles, and now I'll take auto back because we're still on a downhill slope, but it's not going to run away from me. Into a 30, mirrors, off the gas, squeezing on the brakes, must be doing 30 as we go through the gateway, off the brakes, into a left-hand bend, and we'll turn round and we'll go back up the hill.
Yep. So question then for me, you were holding in second gear there.
Yep.
I'm guessing third gear, well that's a 60 mile an hour road, third gear would maybe the car would run away a bit too much, do you think?
I think it probably would. I mean, you need to know your car. I think the third gear probably would have run away from us on that downhill slope. We could try it in a minute if you like. We could go to the other end of the scale and just leave it in normal drive, and you'll see that we'll be on the brakes all the way down that hill.
Yeah.
So we're back in auto at the moment. Concealed entrance to the near side, so I'm out towards the white line in case somebody pulls out. Mirrors, nothing behind us. Looking through the trees, nothing oncoming. I'm going to put the indicator on because somebody could be coming down the hill conceivably. And winding road for 3/4 mile. Risk of wild animals for 2 1/4. I'm going to take manual override again. We'll hold it in third going up the hill. So on the gas in the corner, easing off between, because I want positive drive in the corner, maintaining speed to make stability, grip, limit points run, back on the gas, road mark slow, easing off, looking through the trees, we've got a sharp deviation here followed by a sharp deviation on the right, we're out to the white line, back on the gas coming away from the corner, easing off, positive drive in the corner, taking fourth. Now we can take the auto back. Easing off before the corner, that looks quite sharp. Back on the gas, positive drive, nice and smooth. Can't see over the brow, backing off. Out towards the white line, coming in, one oncoming. Back on the gas, into a right hand bend. Yeah, that was okay.
I found that demonstration drive from Mark incredibly useful. A couple of things. I'd already had 2 sessions, as I mentioned in the video. The move to an automatic car is a very big one. So actually to be able to watch Mark drive an automatic car and pick on some of the techniques he was using was very, very useful. But the other thing was I was being far too cautious in my first 2 sessions. So to watch Mark and to see the pace and the way he approached the drive was really useful. And then the last thing, just the commentary aspect of this is really, really challenging, really demanding. You've got to be able to multitask. You need to be able to drive and position the car correctly and be in the right gear and apply the system of car control and have the observation to see what's happening around you. And at the same time, you've got to communicate that through your commentary. So to just sit in the passenger seat and listen to Mark do a commentary drive was very, very useful. So after we'd been out for the drive in Mark's Porsche, we came back to the house, we swapped cars, we got in Charlie Clubman, and we went for my 1.5-hour session. So I didn't run the cameras for the whole session. I've just run it for a small period of time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, because I thought you might like to watch me with my commentary and the kind of things we're working on. I don't anticipate that I'm going to film every session on my way up to Masters. It's to be quite frank, it's so demanding in terms of as a driver. There's so much to think about. I just don't have the bandwidth to have a camera stuck in my face. And actually, I think I would do myself a disservice if I did. I need to concentrate on it. So I'm not going to film or make a video about every Masters session, but I'll keep you up to date and so on of my progress. So let's jump back in the car now with me driving, Charlie Clubman, and you can kind of hear the way I'm doing my commentary. I'd love to know what you think. Jump in the comments and give me your feedback. So let's jump in and see how I get on with Charlie Clubman, and then I'll give my thoughts at the end on the end of that session, how the session went and what the plans are going forward. Off the brakes, onto the gas. Just going to take a position on the right hand side of the radius just to open up the corner a little bit, and then back up to 60 miles an hour. Good. Junction on the right hand side. Entrance to a pub, no vehicles present. Road bearing round to the right. I'm going to take a position on the left hand side of the carriageway. Vehicle ahead, still maintaining constant speed. Quick mirror check, no vehicles behind. Up ahead, junction on the near side. Lead vehicle just braking slightly going up the hill. 650 yards to junction on the left hand side. Just going to come off the gas and let gravity just slow the car slightly. Road unsighted to the left. As we go round the corner, vehicles oncoming, road bearing round to the right but just over a crest, slightly unsighted, junction coming up, so I'm just going to be mindful of those two cars stopping. As we come up to this crest, I'm just going to come off the gas, let the car slow using gravity, take a position to the right hand side of the carriageway, both vehicles carrying straight on, no vehicle in junction. Up ahead we've got a road bending to the right. I'm going to take a position just behind this car, keeping a safe distance. Quick mirror check, no vehicles behind. Coming up to this right hand bend, I'm just going to slow the car with application of the brake, off the brake, on the gas, accelerate through the corner. Now bins are out on the left hand side, that might indicate it's bin round day, so I'm just going to take a bit of caution just in case I come across a bin lorry. Up ahead the road bears round to the left, there's footpath signs on the right hand side, potential pedestrians. Still 30 miles an hour, parked cars on the offside. Road bears round to the left, goes downhill slightly unsighted, road narrowing with pedestrian sign. Still 30 miles an hour, quick mirror check, nothing behind. Road bears round sharply to the left. Road opening up, junction on the left, unsighted. As we go round the corner, slow warning sign. I'm just going to take a position on the right hand side of the lane. And just as we come round this corner, just be prepared to stop in case there's someone coming out of the junction. Quick mirror check, nothing behind. Junction is clear, continuing round to the right. Road bears round to the right with a crossroads around the corner, currently unsighted. Still 30 miles an hour, road bears round to the left. No vehicles at crossroads, safe to proceed. Oncoming vehicle, no white lines in the middle of the road. Road is wide enough for two cars, but I will still take caution. Now, national speed limit 60 miles an hour. So, road bearing round, constant radius to the right. Lorry parked in lay-by on the near side, junction on the near side, no vehicles. Going to take a position on the right hand side of the road. Tightening bend, little bit of brake, off the brake, on the gas, coming round the corner, still unsighted, just being prepared to stop, road opening up. Road bears round to the left, there is a slow sign as the road goes over a crest. As we get to the crest, I'm just going to lift off. We've got a tight bend to the right with a warning of wild animals. It's going to come down here, entering the speed phase. I'm going to brake, slow the car down, chevrons to the right, off the gas, off the brake, on the gas.
A bit sooner again, come off the brakes a bit earlier, and then get back to the gas and just hold the speed in the corner. Good start though.
Road bearing round to the left, agricultural vehicles or buildings on the right hand side. Up ahead we have sharp bends to the left and then to the right with road narrowing as we enter Elstead. Change of speed down to 30 miles an hour. I'm going to come off the gas, apply the brake, slowing myself down so that I am at 30 miles an hour when I cross into the 30 mile an hour limit. Carrying on at 30 miles an hour, road bears round to the right, goes slightly unsighted as we go past the vehicles. Up ahead we have a crossroads, road bearing round to the left. farmyards and general kind of farm buildings. Mud on the road may indicate tractors, so I'm just going to keep an eye out for that. Oncoming vehicle. Road bearing round to the right. Road completely unsighted up ahead. Now bearing round to the left. Oncoming vehicle. Road coming round to the right. There's a bus stop on the right hand side indicating a bus lane. Maintaining 30 miles an hour. Road bearing round to the right and then downhill. At this point I'm going to select manual and I'm going to hold it into second gear. Road bearing round to the left. Quick mirror check, no vehicles behind. Poor road surface. Road continues downhill, bears round to the right up ahead. Just going to use a little bit of brake just to keep me within the 30 mile an hour limit. And then as the road opens up and the hill empties, I'm just empties. I'm going to stay in second gear. As we come round this corner, going back up to national speed limit, road opens up. I'm going to select third gear. Coming up to this left-hand bend, I'm going to wait to go round this left-hand bend. And if the road opens up, it's now safe for me to turn back.
Then go. Accelerate, change up, then take auto.
Okay.
So when you come off the bends like that, the road was open.
Yeah.
Don't faff around, get on with it.
So there you go. All in all, that drive was about an hour and a half. I commentated the whole hour and a half and it went really well. I was very, very pleased with the drive. The move to an automatic gearbox was a really interesting one. The system's quite different between manual and automatic. I think I adapted quite well, and I think I actually drove more confidently and more like me in that drive with the auto box. And I know a few of you'll be watching that, and that's very different to how normally you see people on YouTube driving an automatic box on the paddles all the time. But actually, the more I get to understand how roadcraft and the system works in an automatic car, the more I understand that. So what's next? We've now effectively had 2 sessions. Mark and I have got a number of sessions planned in over the coming weeks. We're typically doing a session every 3 to 4 weeks. And we'll work up to maybe 6 sessions. And by the time I get to my 6th session, I should be at around about the right level to go for my test. So I will keep you posted how that goes. I'll probably do another update video before I do my test. But the test's a big thing, and we really want to try and get to the point where if I go in for my test, I'm not just going to pass, I want to go for a distinction. That's my marker, that's my aim and my goal, and that's certainly Mark's goal. I would wholeheartedly recommend this process. Clearly, to do Masters, you have to already have your advanced motoring test. I'll put the details of the IAM below. It's not as expensive as you think. You can get basically a package that gets you your lessons. They're all done through voluntary groups, and your test and your first year's membership for less than 150 quid. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing to do. It teaches you an awful lot about driving. It makes you a better driver, and actually for many people it will also reduce your car insurance as well, which is never a bad thing. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please put in the comments below. I would love to know what your thoughts are. How many of you have got your advanced test? Has anybody out there done the Masters? If they have, please give me some hints and tips for my test, because I am mildly bricking it. It's a big, big thing, and I know it's going to be really challenging, but I love the challenge. Anyway, I'm going to sign off there. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you on the next film. But you take care, guys. Drive safe.